Yep.
All right, we live now, man. I don't know what the hell.
All right, we live. Welcome to the Bread and Hope Show. What's going on, people?
Yeah,
Sorry for the lateness, but we back. We here. We in the house. What's going on, Hope?
yo, man. New laptop,
New equipment. New equipment.
new equipment.
Yes. So Hope is the marketing, the engineer, the mixer. We everything tonight for real. The host.
There, man. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have everything going on. So welcome everybody to the Bread and Hope Show. Um, Hey, we are based here in Atlanta, GA. We talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia. But wherever you are from, feel free to be part of the Bread and Hova show and check out the Bread and Hova Facebook group to get the latest news on sports and what we up to. Hova, what you got?
Yeah, just want to welcome listeners and new listeners for tuning in tonight. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we finally got it right. Um, if you want to check out the Bread and Hope Show Facebook group, you're welcome to check us out. And we post content from time to time. If you want to be part of the community, just hit us up and we'll take care of you. And also, you can visit our website, www.sportsandbrews.com, where we have real life sports content as well as beer content. And Lou, Lou won't be joining us tonight, or I don't know if we got the link out on the Facebook group page. But give a shout out to Lou and the Enhanced Sports Show. And yeah, Brad, let's go on into it.
All right, let's go. Let's get it, man. Hey, um, fresh off of retirement, and so officially last week. Um, I am totally retired, and it is weird. Ev- everybody's kind of asking me like, well, what's going on? How does it feel? This, that, and the other. I was like, shoot, man, it's just weird. That's all I'm saying. It's just it's good, but when you're kind of used to when you're used to being in work mode for you know, I've been working since I've been 12, and in my profession for a little over 30 years, and at the current, or I was about to say my current job, but my previous job for 23 years. And so the muscle memory of working is still there. So that's what I mean by a little weird in terms of retirement. But yeah, I'm officially retired, and I will have fun finding my new self.
Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Like I said, man, like I told you, man, I'm very happy for you.
Appreciate it.
You deserve it, brother. And now it's like a whole new chapter for you right now. And
Indeed.
I'm dude, man, I can't wait till I can check out the Matrix.
Yes, sir. Check out, man. Check out, man. Check out.
Yeah, yeah,
Take the blue pill and check out, man.
yeah.
They,
So
they, they, Shout out to Steve. Steve came on out. He had a look. Uh, Co-workers threw me a nice couple of little nice little get-togethers about a week ago, actually. And there's one during the day and one in the evening. And so, uh, so shout out to Steve. Just kind of showing and a couple and everybody else who kind of helped put that together. So had a real good time, good time, had
yeah,
ball.
man. Yeah, I was definitely trying to be a part of that action, man, but unfortunately I wasn't able
Yeah,
to be there, man. But yeah, man, like I said, man, you know, I'm hey, we're gonna have to get it in
yes,
now that you're
sir.
back from your first trip.
Oh, oh, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that. We
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
we
and
definitely
Punta Cana, right? Yeah, Punta Cana.
yeah, man. Punta Cana, and it's interesting because the trip there is always stuff when you get there, and so amazingly on the news, we didn't experience it yet, but now they have new TSA rules, and so you can keep your shoes on. So,
Oh man, oh man, I know you love that, man.
well,
Yeah,
it came, yeah, it came afterwards, but I mean, next time we travel, it's gonna be in place, and so it's like right when we came back, that was the transition.
but
So
yeah, but the thing about that, man, is it's like it just makes everything moves faster, right? I mean,
yeah, it
nobody has
does.
to, you know, people trying to get to their destinations, and
Yeah,
you got all this security. It's bad enough you got to do this, you got to take this and that. Now you got to take your shoes off.
yeah, yeah.
So I just think, I think now that they have advanced with technology,
Right.
let's keep it moving with, you know what I'm
Let's,
saying?
let's let's keep it moving. I mean, people have to be there 3 hours if you're going international, 2 hours before because of TSA. Hey, give us an hour, give us an hour back at least, so that we
Right,
can go
right.
ahead and don't have to be there so early. But the thing about it, I mean, it's all in the master plan, especially in Atlanta, to get you there early, so that you can spend money. They don't want you bringing bottles and nothing to eat, none of that kind of stuff. They want you spending money when you come through there. But it just takes too much time. It just takes time consuming. Go back. You got to take your belt off, take your shoes off. You
Yeah.
know, you know, people kind of, a lot of people just kind of altered the way they dress on flights now. It used to be back when I grew up, people used to dress up. But you can't even afford, even on a business flight, you can't afford to dress up on a business flight because you got to take your belt off, take your shoes off, take everything off, then put it back on to be on time for your flight. It's just and I understand we want to be safe. I get it, but the technology has improved, and it's about time for technology to kind of catch up, with the safety, standards, keep people safe. Can't stay stuck in 20 years ago. And so I'm just happy to see the advancements in technology and allow us to keep it moving. Because this is a very first, and even when you check in and you can use your license, it used to be where you got to have your passport, this, that, and the other. But you can have your driver's license and check in now at TSA and keep it moving. So that I think helps a lot of people, that's traveling domestic. But
Hmm.
shoot, if you traveling international, you gotta get that passport, son. So
Yeah, yeah,
gotta
yeah,
get a passport, son.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the vacation, man. Vacation was good, man. Vacation to Dominican Republic. As you can see, I brought a little souvenir back. Dominican baseball cap, Dominican team out there, and that's where a lot of people got a great system out there in baseball, great farm systems.
Hmm.
And everybody want to get players, and we used to do very well in getting players from the Dominican Republic until we got in trouble. So the Braves, that
Hmm.
is. So
Hmm.
we got our hands slapped, and so we haven't recovered yet. Talk about Braves later on, but yeah, the vacation was good, Hover. Punta
Oh,
Cana wasn't our first time there, so it's about our third time in Punta Cana.
hmm.
And so we really enjoy flying in, going there. It's a kind of a mad dash when you get there. People all over the place in timeshares trying and folk trying to get you. But it's funny because once they see that you done paid, they ain't trying to mess with you. So we we always try to prepay our trip with Delta Racing so we don't have no problem. And so we get there, went to the Royalton. Shout out to the Royalton Hideaway. It's a Royalton Splash and a Hideaway out there. And that's mostly for adults. We were in the adult section.
Hmm.
And so if you want to be around some grown folk, don't want little kids running around everywhere, then I strongly suggest if you like the Hideaway to go to the adult section or any resort that you go to, all inclusive. Ask to see if they got an all adult section because that's something definitely over that you want to do. I won't say no kids, but I mean you want minimal kids. You don't want them running around all day bumping into kids all day. all that kind of stuff, man. But the kids there they were not carnival kids. They were well behaved kids. So sorry, carnival, but but it was great. I think the people were so good. But when you think about places like Punta Cana in particular, and places that depend on travel, a large chunk of the economy of that country is based on tourism. And so
Yeah.
and so it and so when people get jobs, there are many jobs you can get there like anywhere else. You can get construction jobs, you can be a politician, work for the government, different things like that, restaurant, food service, that kind of thing. But in particular, the main thing there is if you can get you a job there, uh service some kind of way, working at a resort, that's good people, because people sign applications and they be on a waiting list. And a lot of times somebody got to know somebody who works there to get you on. It's almost like Brown and Williamson back in the day in Macon, if you recall. That
Yeah.
was the tobacco plant, based. I think the main base was up in Virginia somewhere, Richmond, I
Right.
believe. But
Right. Right.
when they located down in Macon, that was a major plant in terms of our economy down there in Macon. So, unless you knew somebody there, you had to sign an application to be on the waiting list. So same thing there. That's kind of simple. They worked really hard there. We went on an excursion and saw some monkeys over. So I'll send
Hey,
pictures. I'll post
hey,
pictures later.
August said, did you feed the monkeys?
We fed the monkeys, man. We fed the monkeys, man. I was all tripping before. I didn't want to do it, but the wife was like, "Nah, we gonna see these monkeys. Come on." But it was cool, man. A little bit of small little monkeys, man, and they just adorable, man. They were the little young monkeys, and so they was
Okay.
all over the place, man. They all on top of your head and everywhere, man. It's crazy, but it was
Well,
fun though.
well, man, it sound like you had a great time.
Yeah,
Glad you made
man.
it back safe, man. And
Mama Wana. I'll tell you about the Mama Wana later on. The Mama Wana. So it's some history behind that in terms of, but it does everything, clean you out, blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
bedroom aphrodisiac, all that kind of, they do everything. So
yeah,
that was really cool. And the only bad thing there was the water got brown on us for a
right,
hot second.
right.
Don't drink the water. They say whether it's brown or not, don't drink the water. But they hooked it. They got it straight, man. Had a nice all white party. Sports bar was nice, hot as hell, but it was nice. So definitely, I recommend all inclusive, even if it's not the Royalton, hook up there, the vacation and all those things, man. It's real good. And one last thing, and I'm gonna be off of it, man. Is that every time you go on excursion, at least when I do get on excursion, especially places like Punta Cana,
Hmm.
you notice things, and they got a lot of building going on around the Hard Rock Cafe. They got a lot of condominiums, a lot of places for rent, a lot of places for sale, those
Hmm.
type of things that are coming up that they built and that they're continuing to build, which is cheap, actually.
Mm. Oh, really? Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but it was interesting. Seems cool at the point, but it's just kind of like, well, how can I put this? When you're in the resort, is one thing, but outside of the resort and trying to kind of get a good feel of it, that's different. And so, you know what I mean? So if you
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
fly, you know exactly what I mean. So if you fly
Hmm.
in and you're not at a resort or a hotel and you getting the real of the real, now you seeing a whole different flavor. Because see, you a tourist, you on the bus, you see this stuff from the outside looking in. Oh yeah,
Hmm.
that's cheap. All right, okay. Once you buy something, what you know about that place? So it takes a lot of research, going back and forth to get to know a new place, like you would anywhere else in the states. But the lifestyle, you just gotta know what you're doing, know where you're going, where
Hmm.
you're gonna shop. When you ain't
Hmm.
working, if you're retired, what you doing with your time. You know what I mean? Because you're not
Right.
on the resort.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's not what you're doing. So I'm thinking that. it just gives you a whole different perspective. So, okay, let's see, we can do it. You can invest this, that, and the other, but you got to go there a number of times to really kind of get a good feel of what's going on. How, driving simple stuff, get from place to place. Do they have a subway? All that kind of stuff. Nope, Punta Cana does not. It does not. I mean, it's the countryside. It's about beaches and it's the countryside. It's not what is it, Santo Domingo? It's not, it's not the city.
Mhm.
And the city is different. City got subways and everything, and it's not. It's just different. It's very urban.
Right,
And so
right.
so the only people that usually go there is people who know somebody. It's everybody go. Everybody else go to the beach. Who visits there. But I just thought it was very cool, man. It's countryside. It's people are very religious there. Uh, Christianity is a big thing there, and the
Mhm.
colorful houses, everything is all natural and all kinds of stuff. If you look at it and you see the villages, and it's just very, very small, and everybody knows everybody or they're related. And so, in one of the places we went to, and so
Okay.
I thought it was so cool, man. I just got a whole lot out. I just got a whole lot, man. I just thought it was just so cool. And
Man, well,
so
that's what's up, man. That's
love
what's
the
up.
experience. I love the people, man. I like that. I
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
experiencing the people. And so that's what I like the most, man. It was the funniest thing ever, man, because we would ride through one with small town. Well, it's just one main street that goes through there, but it's just where
Mhm.
kind of everything goes. And the cat just standing there, man, chilling. Dude had a little pistol in his hand, flinging it on his finger. Like y'all, you saw this guy flinging his pistol on his finger. It's like like that thing go off, man. Yeah, man, at least in your hand or something. I thought it was rather funny, but
Were you able to the language? Were you able to understand some Spanish? Well, I think you can.
a little bit, man. But I mean, once they get to talking real fast, man, man, they too fast, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but certain things I can catch, just I mean, the easy stuff like just
Yeah, like
hola,
Buenos Dias.
Buenos
Buenos
dias,
noches.
good day, Buenos noches. No sense saying hola at night. You know. So Buenos noches, yeah, it's one of those things like that. So a couple of little things, you can kind of pick up, just to get you through. But like nah, I got to brush up on the Spanish. I got to brush up on it because in Dominican Republic, they speak some English there, but it's heavy, heavy, heavy Spanish, heavy,
Yeah.
heavy, 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 heavy. And so that's obviously everybody's first language.
Right.
And so, but and they learn just enough English to kind of get jobs and kind of make people come,
Yeah,
but
to
but
make you
some
comfortable.
make yeah, when you're on a resort, somebody got it, you know what I mean? And so especially the folk that's handling the money got to speak the best English. But
Right.
but you back there working in the kitchen, man, you ain't got to know a whole lot, man. Just make you just kind of got to figure it out. Everybody, yeah, if both of y'all nod and use some head signals and signs, then you know what it is. But yeah, man. So I said, we got to brush up on the Spanish a little bit next time we go to place like this. So we gonna do that next time. But
Okay. All right.
but it was cool, man. And a quick question, man. And I was just about this, man. In terms of flights, are there any
Yeah.
pet peeves that you have on flights?
That's a good question. I would say probably the biggest one for me, man, is somebody not following orders
Hmm.
on a
Yeah,
flight. I mean, because here's the thing: if everybody follows the orders, everything goes smooth. If
correct.
someone doesn't follow the orders, it can cause problems, and more likely your flight might can turn around and come back. And so, so
Exactly.
if I had to say a pet peeve of mine is just uh a passenger following the rules.
Yep. Yep.
And I mean literally because I've seen reason why I say that because like when we were flying back to from Colombia, there was a passenger where the flight attendant said, "Okay, everyone, you need to remain in your seat. No more, trying to rearrange this and put things on up in the storage area in the storage bin."
Oh yeah,
And what do you know? Somebody got up and they started messing with one storage bin. They couldn't get, then they went up to another. They just kept going. I'm like, will
yeah,
you sit your ass
yeah,
down?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that's one of mine, man. But what's
I
yours,
mean,
man?
yeah, storage bins is kind of a major problem because it's people really kind of test they really test the maximum limits of storage of carry on.
Yeah,
So a lot of people that barely make the carry on, take up the most space. And a lot of times I saw somebody on the trip, they were not very cordial about it. And dude sat like probably 10 rows back, but he
hmm
just went and stuck his stuff up there. She said, "Don't put it like that as a bookshelf." She said, "Lay it flat." He didn't give a shit. Just threw it in there and walked on to the back. It's just like, y'all need to have this situation right.
Oh
Cause
no, man. That's probably my pet peeve like that is passengers not, yeah, just not following the rules, man.
not following it. Not following the
I'm
rule
not,
because if
yeah.
the if you're not laying, it's already kind of big. But if you're not putting it in that in the right way and you squeezing it in there, the shit gonna fling over and hit somebody upside the head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The storage bin, I agree with you, man. Those things is crazy, especially if you have a full flight. In most cases, you're
Yeah,
gonna have a full. And you like you were talking about that passenger. I mean, you're gonna get. I mean, it's just I don't know what it is, but like my last flight, I mean, the lady would not. I mean, she went from one store, she went almost damn near all the way up to the front of the fucking plane trying,
mm,
and the
mm,
flight attendant said, "Ma'am, you need to get in your seat.
yep,
If you can't get in your seat, we can't based on the FHA
mm,
guidelines, we
yep,
can't move this plane at all."
yep,
And when she said that, man, that's when I was like, and a lot of other people felt like, okay, somebody said, "Hey, you need to go sit your head down."
yeah, right,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
I want to go to where I want to go. I want to get to Atlanta. So can you please? I mean, okay, but it didn't help matters. She was
Yeah.
all, packing a little bit there. But anyway, but we ain't gonna get all into that.
Yeah.
See that that did that didn't help matters at all.
that did not help.
Yeah, yeah,
Eh,
some cats ain't
Man.
saying a damn thing, and I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
"Why?"
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
anyway,
exactly. But
yeah.
yeah, but those kinds of things, the crying babies, I still think that some kids are just, I think the toddlers, I put it that way, toddlers are just too young to travel. And so, but I don't know. I mean, people have different situations. Maybe they moving or trying to get away from a situation. But
Fortunately, man, I haven't. I ran into that situation to where I sat. I mean, like literally on the other side of where the crying baby was, and
mm,
I
mm,
can
mm.
tell you that was definitely one of the worst.
Yeah, yeah, crybabies are always the worst
That
because
was one of the worst. I ain't gonna, I mean, that baby, man, from the time we took off and we got
yeah,
settled in there, and once we got to a certain altitude, it started right back up. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, babies don't belong on vacation, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Call me I'll be the bad guy. But babe, our toddlers don't belong on vacation because they don't know where they are, don't know what they're doing, and they won't remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion. And so I never understand why people take toddlers on vacation. Because it's no, what's the vacation part in it? Because you always, nothing changes for you, other than it's probably tougher because you're not at home. So you're taking them away from home. You're doing the same stuff you're doing at home. You got to feed them, you got to rock them, you got to put them to sleep. You got to make sure they ain't crying. You know, all that kind of stuff you got to do. They hate plane rides. You got to keep them quiet. It's just makes your job as a parent more difficult. And it's like it is no vacation 'cause you ain't gonna get no sleep. So
No.
it's the same as it is at home. If you ain't getting sleep at home, you're not gonna get sleep on vacation. And plus, a lot
Mm,
of times you impede on other people's vacation. They're trying to have a good time, but don't want to hear no
yeah.
crying baby. So you know, you just kind of impeding other people's time they paid good money for too. To it, nah, we don't we want a little bit more peace, and when we don't want peace, we want to be at the club, and they be having at the bar at the club, man. Was over people be chatting kids all at the bar, man. Jesus, man, they went at the club, but they had a party, family party, but
Mm, mm,
kids at the bar, man, like, man, what you doing? What the kids doing at the bar? What is this? They
right.
destroying my house. I know, bro. I know how to order and stuff. You go up there, man. You just got to make contact, man. Give them a little dollar, what is that, another, and get you a little spot. Don't keep moving around. And so you just got to know the ropes. And so don't nobody know the ropes, man. And they didn't get no drink. I'm just looking at them. Man, why are you here? But yeah, my pet peeves is just crying kids. That's just the absolute worst. I don't know why people bring them. I haven't had one sit next to me as of yet, but I have had them like on the aisle across from me or whatever, and this, that, and the other. I'm just like, this is the absolute worst. So yeah, and people, people getting too comfortable on the flight, taking their shoes off. You know, you know, it's just man, that ain't that kind of party. But anyway, enough, uh, enough of my rants, man. What did you do special for the 4th of July, Hope?
Yeah, man. So went to Macon, and got in the pool, man.
There it is. I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah, man. I mean, it was pool time, man.
Pool
Shit.
party. Pool party in the
Yeah,
making.
yeah, man. We had a great time. I mean, probably one of the best Fourth of July, man. I mean, it
Yes,
was pretty
sir.
cool. Pretty cool.
That's good. How long did you stay down there?
Just I mean, just enough to hang in there for the day, just for the day. Came on
Yeah,
back.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's good. That's
yeah.
that's what's
So,
good. That's what's
mm,
good, man.
mm-hmm.
So they had. I was surprised that in the whole resort they had a big old 4th of July party, man. They had people on stage, DJ or band. They had everything going on, man. Fireworks, everything. I said, shoot, we going in another country. Nah, I said they ain't gonna. I said B said they gonna do anything. I said I don't think they gonna do nothing. We're in another country. They don't celebrate 4th of July like we do. They
Right.
celebrate something else, but they don't do that. Went to the
Right.
resort. They had a big old red, white, and blue party, man, because they knew that pretty much everybody, well, a large portion of people at the resort were Americans. Not everybody, but a good portion were American. They just laid it out, man. So so that was good, and I tell people, man, it is interesting about different folks' views about it, and
Mm-hmm.
and I get it. Different folk got different views about it, and especially being African American,
Right.
because you know our freedom is we tell a different story. We
Yeah.
gotta. You're like, yeah, I get it. You as Americans, yeah, you understand about the independence from England, but at that time we were still not free.
Right.
It's
Right.
like the more you learn, so we were enslaved and we eventually, then there's Juneteenth. When after we were free, folk in Galveston, Texas, they didn't know. They didn't get the memo. And so they remained enslaved a little bit longer than everybody else. And so that deserves some recognition too for us and for anybody really, and um so when you get older, you learn things and you have different perspectives than you had when you were younger. It's like, oh shoot, man, I just get up, get some hot dogs, some hamburgers, man, with some red, white, and beef move. That's how
Mm-hmm.
black or white. That's how you grew up.
Right.
Until you got older and you start learning things, learning more truths about your country. Everything ain't on a platter. But look, man, we ain't perfect. We ain't claiming to be, but but at the end of the day, you're a citizen, and if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. We got a lot of people that have the means to move on do, and they have.
Right,
But
right.
if you don't have the means to move on, then you still have to cope and find ways to kind of cope and make this thing work for you best way you can and keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't be better all your life. Gotta move on. Gotta flip the page and be better all your life.
Right,
So
right.
so you kind of make the best of it and find the positive in it and move with that. We got a nutcase for a president, but you can't let that ruin your day every day.
Yeah.
you know,
Well, yeah, that's true.
he's a
That's true.
nutcase, and I see he walking back a whole lot of stuff too.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
walking back a whole lot of things. He came in his first 30 days, and now he walking it back today. And so he's a
Yeah.
little bit different about Putin today than he did before.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah, you know.
yeah, yeah. But any rate, man, let's get to some sports talk, man. We got back to the old school Bread and the Hope show, man. We used to talk about a little something everything. The new Bread and the Hope show, we gotta jump into the sports kind of quick. But shoot, old school, man, we go around the we go around the room for a minute.
Right, right.
But look, man, how you feel about this CONCACAF championship? Mexico wins back to back CONCACAFs, man, and beating the U.S. team in kind of what I would call a controversial win. I'm gonna let you handle this one, Ho.
Uh, well, I mean, the USA team did pretty good, Brad. I mean, I give them some credit.
Mm-hmm.
To get to the championship. But I truly believe the better team won, man. I
Mm-hmm.
think Mexico is just better than USA.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really see it being controversial, but I like
Mm-hmm.
to hear your thoughts on why you think so.
Yeah, number one, that was the national team, but we had a lot of juniors on that team too. That was not 100% our national team, 100% our starters that's gonna play, that's actually gonna play in the qualifiers and stuff. And so a lot of our guys were just, that's gonna be in the Olympics, they could be in the World Cup, did not play. They thought they were too good for the tournament or whatever. I don't know what it was. But, we just, handled the guys that wanted to be there and they played with a lot more passion than our regular team, I'll put it that way. So and all the way through the tournament. And I just wish that we were. I just put it this way: we were a little bit more physical. Usually, when this team in particular, when they are physical, they usually win because they got a little size to them and a little fire to them, and and it's all good. There was some controversial. The controversy I'm talking about is later on what made it 2-1 was the guy tripped over the ball. It wasn't even any contact. He kind of flopped and fell over the ball like somebody just broke his back and rolled all over the place. And the other guy was in the box. He fell too. So both of them kind of flopped at the same time. And real called a flop. And so based on for the referee falling for the flop, then Mexico got a corner kick.
Yeah,
Based on that corner, that kind of set up the winner when they should not have gotten the corner kick. Shouldn't have been a foul either. And so they got that corner kick, man, bounced off. Nothing we could do off of that part right there. There's nothing we could do. They had time of possession in the second half anyway. We just could not advance the ball in the second half, seemingly for the most part. And
hmm,
so we just found out the position of where we were just in defense mode, but it didn't do us that good. So
right, right,
so the guys tried. They play with more heart than you normally see. I just put it that way.
right.
It's interesting because Mexico usually runs this event anyway, this one, but their only competition is really the US. And it's usually kind of a back and forth. It's usually like, all right, they win one, we win one, they win one, we win one. And so it's like, all right, it was our time to win, but we didn't get it done. They definitely had their national team out there 100%, but no excuses. They had a better team out there on paper. Even though our guys play with a lot of passion. But I still think that they should have been a little bit more physical with Mexico, and they can
Yeah,
be. And I think that just needs to be a
I
style of
mean,
play for the team.
yeah. Well, you make a good point. You make a good point. I mean, yeah, more physicality might have been, um, might have been a better outcome for them. But I don't know, man. I just felt like Mexico just had the momentum. I think they had just better um attacking than what
Yeah, they
USA
did.
had.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They had better. Yeah, they had better attacking guys, better strikers.
Yeah, they had
You
better
know,
strikers. Yeah.
and
So
so they that's just kind of had us on our heels. But that's again that's the conversation we've had before time and time again. About the U.S. National team, all the resources in the world, but you're mediocre on your best. You're just mediocre.
right,
Uh,
right.
yeah, and so you're just not getting it done. So that's a bigger thing. I think it's more systemic in terms of why we fail and are not a top tier competition. And so that's you know, I mean, if you don't put the resources into it, what do you expect? You don't have your best athletes out there, and we talk about it time and time. You don't have your best athletes there, and so if you don't have your
Right.
best athletes out there, they playing football, basketball, track, whatever. Then you just got whatever guys who are left over that happen to like the sport or love the sport, and they're athletic enough. But I mean, just come think about it. Think about all the athletes that you got. I mean, in basketball, think of a Michael Jordan version of soccer, 6'6" playing goalie, or think of these tall athletes you got that could play golf. And
Yeah.
they tall, strong, athletic, stop anything, man. I mean, these guys don't even grow that way, man.
Mm, mm.
These guys don't even grow that. We got guys. You look at all our basketball players, man, that we have that are tall and athletic and all over the place, man. Look at Turner, a guy like that. Think about him playing goalie for you. Think about all these tough guys in football. That we got linebackers and running backs that are real tough, man. They can play. Think of if they played soccer. What if Mike Evans played soccer? you
Right.
know,
Right.
what I mean, you think about your defense. What if Aaron Donald played soccer?
Hmm.
Them
Yeah.
kind of dudes.
Yeah.
So we got the dudes. They just decide to play something else.
Yeah. That's true. You're right,
That-
Brad. You're right.
because their best athletes ain't playing nothing else. They playing soccer. Think about
Yeah.
it, home.
No, you're right.
Name any country. Name France, Germany. Some of your top teams, England. Some of your top teams. All they
You
main national players come together. Shit, man, they got a couple 6 footers or whatever, man. Couple of guys, but shoot, you ain't got nobody faster than Tyreek Hill in the game of soccer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that's the thing with the US is that we have these other sports that where some of the best athletes can go into make good money.
Yeah,
Um and um and that's getting most of the attention. So
right.
versus soccer, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's what we and I think we did it on the Braden Hova show, like rank like what are the most watched sports in the United States.
yeah.
And soccer is definitely not number one. So
It's not even top
um
five.
well yeah. So
Not even top five.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So but all that's gonna change next year when the World Cup is FIFA and all that. Yeah.
World Cup, in the United States, being in Atlanta,
Oh yeah, it's gonna get a
yeah,
whole lot of, yeah.
it's gonna be different, and you hope that you set it off. You make it a star-studded event. Hopefully that those kind of events, those kind of things, hype it up a little bit, man, to get people to watch it. I mean, I watch. Me and you, we watch it regardless.
Yeah.
They can have it anywhere on the globe, and we'll watch it.
Right.
But but that's not in America. That ain't what you do. That ain't what most people who watch ain't what we doing. You watching,
Right.
and shit. If they all playing at the same time, if the World Cup, the Super Bowl, Game 7 in baseball, Game 7 in hockey, Game 7 in basketball, that's five different sports right there, all at the same time. Oh, and college football championship.
Mm.
What are we watching?
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what game are we watching? What channel are we gonna tune to? Best believe I ain't turning to watch the World Cup championship. As much as I
Yeah.
like it, I ain't watching, male or female,
Right.
over all them other sports. Now I may watch World Cup over the Stanley the hockey game. I probably watch it over that
Hmm.
because I just didn't grow up with hockey. I watch
Right.
a little bit, but I ain't grew up with it, so I watch it over that.
Right.
Uh, and I may watch it over. I mean, if the Braves ain't playing, I may watch it over the World Series. If the
Right.
Braves ain't playing, but
Right.
that's all I can give you. That's all I can give you. Right. So that's all I'm saying with that whole minute. We just got to get better, man. And I think and they don't want to mess with the money because again, that I don't think a lot of the guys would play. You cut the money, they shoot, they just I don't know, keep doing what they doing. And play wherever they're playing. They won't even play for the national team if you cut the money. They said, no, we're gonna use it as an incentive because your house sucks. And maybe that's probably what we need. People playing it that really want to play it and ain't for the money. And the only way you're gonna get that big money is you know, if you get inside to the real tournament and qualify, play for a goal. That's it.
Yeah.
I had a women make most of the money. So speaking of women, women's sports, over uh WNBA cover. The WNBA video game covers Angel Reese. How you feel about that?
Oh, well, could it been someone else? Yeah. I mean, you would have thought maybe it might have been Caitlin Clark, you know. I mean, she's kind of the face of the league. Um, but at the same time, I mean, Angel Reese is a brand, man. I mean, she's made a brand of herself. And to be honest, Brad, it's not even about her basketball skills at this point. Um, I mean, yeah, she played ball in college. She's playing, she's doing her thing in the league, but it's all about it's all about a brand, and then it's all about who's marketable, who has the charisma, who's social media followers, who's getting all the pub. And let's stay with social media. And if you look at the numbers and what's going on in social media and for the WNBA, I'm pretty sure Angel Reese is probably right after Caitlin Clark when you if you look at the numbers as far as her social media following. So uh that's how they do it, man. It's all about the numbers, man. It's a numbers game. It's numbers. It's the brand.
Yeah,
That's what makes it happen.
yeah,
It's not about skill. Because if we had to say if it was skill, I mean, there's many different players in the league that I can just. I mean, I hadn't watched it enough, but I'll just one person out right off the top of my head. If I had to go with I go with an all star. And matter of fact, two of them on the Atlanta Dream Team.
yeah.
So, why couldn't they been on the cover? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if we want to go with skill, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, yeah.
uh
Yeah, and I think that most of the time before Angel Reese and before Caitlin Clark got to the league, the cover has always been the best player.
yeah,
And so now I don't even think Caitlin Clark's the best player in the league. I don't think. I mean, she's good. She's probably one of the better shooters, but she's not the best player.
yeah.
Um, and Angel Reese is not the best player. She's probably the best rebounder, but she's not the best player. But I think between the both of them, I think their social media counts are very, very close. I don't think there's a big difference between the two. One is one and two, whatever. They're interchangeable, in my opinion. But Angel Reese has a brand. She works on her social media. Caitlin Clark has a social media, but she doesn't work it like Reese. But Angel Reese, she got a brand, she got stuff going, and she got her people to work a deal to get her on the cover. I give her credit for that. Because
But yeah, just think about it though. Like those two, I mean, those two, when those two play, regardless, they get more TV coverage, right? They get all
yeah,
the more coverage on TV, and
yeah,
then on top of that, um, they're both charismatic, and
oh
then
yeah,
when you look at, I mean, overall, uh, they selling tickets.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just
They tickets. They come to your town. They
but
they selling tickets, and it's
what I'm saying is that, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, yeah, there's skill there, but that's not what's drawing the attention.
yep.
See, to
Uh,
them,
yeah,
what's drawing
yeah,
them the attention. What's drawing the attention is just like what we're talking about, social media.
yeah,
The
yeah. It's
social,
the social.
we live in a world now where that's the forefront. It's all about the numbers. It's all about your
Yeah,
social media.
yeah, yeah. It's social media. How many likes you get,
Yeah, how
and
many
and
followers? Yeah, and all this kind
and
of stuff. Yeah.
and you got to feel for players like Asia Wilson, which is technically the best player in the league, but leaps and bounds. Ain't nobody better than her. She like number one in every points, rebounds, assists. See, you look at the stats, Asia Wilson, and she has been the best since she league. But it's this thing. It is. I mean, her social media account is top 10, I guess, for women, but it's in the bottom half. And she charismatic and she making commercials and stuff, but she ain't doing stuff at the clip of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, which is in this day and time is crazy because like, damn, how the best player not get, and she winning championships. I mean, they ain't gonna win no championship this year, but 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 that's what you got. So I get it, man, and I know what's going on, man. So I get it. I get it, man. So look, man, Freddie Freeman. I hear this documentary coming out about Freddie Freeman, man. You heard about that?
Nah.
Freddie Freeman got this documentary coming out, man. And it is funny because you kind of wonder about, you know, is they gonna show him crying on that? He didn't want to leave Atlanta and this whole debacle because he just kind of like, hey, if he had known more about it, he fired his agent over it eventually. And it's like, shoot, man, if I had known all the details, I trusted him to do the right thing to keep me in Atlanta. I thought that's what it was. So he went off with fishing or whatever he does. And so next thing you know, when the deal didn't get done, he didn't know that his boy dropped the ball. He like, shit, if I had known that, then asked him what happened. He made it seem like it was the Braves that dropped the ball. Which is, he like, Braves kind of sort of did, but still, I mean, Freddie would have played for whatever the Braves was gonna give him, and you know, the Braves still could have gave him that 6 year too. So there's some stuff on both sides the way I see it. And so, but at any rate, as you recall, when his first meeting, when his first return back to Atlanta, man, all three games, man, he was emotional with all three of them. Because when he came up to bat, everybody like Freddie, Fred, they had to stop the game, man.
Yeah.
Every time he came to bat, Freddie, he was just done. After the game, man, he just crying. He just done. So then,
Well,
but I get it. 12 years
but
of your life,
yeah, man. I mean, he was a brave man, and that's where he wanted, and that's where he wanted to finish it out. He
yep,
didn't. And we know this. I mean, he didn't want to leave. So,
yep,
that whole, the whole deal and everything, the way they done it, it's got stink all over, written all
yeah,
over. It was
yeah,
just
yeah,
it stunk. And I don't care how you try to say this and that to make an excuse to make it look better than what it is. I'm gonna even go worse than that. It was fucked up.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It was,
that they couldn't work it out.
shouldn't let him get up out of here, man. I mean, that's the bottom line. He should still be a Brave, and that's the bottom line. He didn't want to leave. Fans didn't want him to leave, and it still left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. It's just a bad move. Just a bad move, man. And
Yeah.
and so at any rate, man, Freddie's gonna have his thing. I'm quite sure they're gonna have a lot of Atlanta. Because I mean, you think about, even though he's been there for a couple of years, I mean, yeah, you mean when you still gonna think about Freddie as a
Hmm.
Brave. You know,
Hmm.
he got World Series chips with both the Braves and the Dodgers, but he's still a Brave, man. He's a Brave.
No
So
doubt.
so we need to stop dropping the ball on shit like that. Speaking of the Braves, man, I don't know, but we suck right now, man. We sucked all year. We've been doing the same stuff all year. Lost five in a row. It's
It's
just
time to change. We talked about it on the show before. It's time to change over. I think we need a new skipper, man.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's what I think. I think it's time for a new skipper.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
we're a long way from 2021.
I mean,
Uh,
Snick way of doing things. Yeah, it got us a World Series, but
yeah,
I think it's time to move on, man.
yeah, yeah.
Because what he got, it's not working anymore.
It's
I
not
don't
working.
think it has its. He hadn't made the right adjustments to his philosophy
Yeah,
to stay competitive. Let's just put it that way. I know that was a mouthful, but
yeah,
that's how I feel about it.
yeah,
It's kind of like his philosophy, what worked to get them to the World Series and win, it worked then, but it needs to be improved, and it's because it's not working now. See,
yeah, yeah,
so what do you do? So that means you need to get a new skipper. You need somebody to come in here with something else.
yeah.
Because
That's
he's
it. I
not
mean,
because what you know, it's kind of like you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right?
can't do it.
That
He is
old
what he is.
dog, that old dog is what it is now, unless for whatever reason that old dog wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to learn a new trick, even though I'm an old dog.
Yeah,
But chances are that old dog doing that is slim to none. So
yeah, 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 yeah. That's what that is.
that's how I look at Snick is just being an old dog. And he old
Yeah,
dog. He not about learning new tricks.
yeah, no,
So not to stay competitive.
yeah,
So
no, yeah, not at all, man.
I mean,
I mean,
again,
I
I'm
mean,
not
I
saying
mean, you hit the
I'm
nail on the
just
head.
saying. Well, I'm
Yeah,
just saying what he's doing. It worked. It was competitive enough.
that was it.
But now,
4 years ago.
some that's 4 years ago. We got to put some kinks into that philosophy or to his
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah. And you
Because
can't, yeah, yeah. And it's the guy, and the guys aren't, they're just not. It's not working anymore. They putting people in the minors and all this kind of stuff, and we got injuries left and right. You know, Anthopoulos is not really got that magic anymore. So you
Hmm.
probably need to look at him too. You know, look at
Yeah.
Anthopoulos and
Well,
look
it
at the skipper.
it starts at the top. Maybe, the management and the skipper, both of them need to go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
That you need a shake up, man. It kind of get things it works, maybe it doesn't, but what you got this bad because you can't get rid of the whole team. You gonna have a lot of these guys come right back next season, so you don't have a whole lot of wiggle room, but you do have wiggle room for your skipper and maybe your GM. But if you get
Yeah.
another, but the Braves don't move GMs very often. It's just not what the Braves do. They don't move skippers off. That's just Braves. It's just not what they do. But I think I agree with you 100%, Hope. I think you're at a point now to where the shakeup comes from the top. And I think once the shakeup comes from the top, I think everything else is really, uh, gonna shake out for the Braves. You may stumble the first year, man, but I think you're really gonna have, and I think, but the other part of that, I think, because we got Freddie Gonzalez back, third base coach,
Hmm.
and like, man, please do not bring Fred. We done experienced Freddie. Freddie, they wasn't horrible, but he gone for a reason. And so Snick was the one to replace Freddie. And, Freddie's back. I know they boys and everything, but it's like, look, man, you need somebody outside the organization to go ahead and take care of this. That's all I'm saying, man. And so I think it's time. I appreciate Snick, but I think the time is here, man. So look, All Star game is in the A coming up, man. It's gonna be big, Hover. It's gonna be big. You ready for the All Star game, man? It's gonna be big.
Yeah, man. I mean, the battery gonna be jumping, as always, that helps the economy.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man. All eyes on the A.
All eyes on the A, man. I agree. So we get more into that next week's show. But we got a couple of these. Chris Sale is in it. He made the list. I think Olsen made it in. Was it Olsen that made it in as a
Yeah,
reserve?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Uh,
Matt Olson. Yeah,
yeah, Matt Olsen and of course Robert Acuna Jr. made it. Robert Acuna
yeah,
Jr. made it.
yeah.
So that goes beyond saying. They took him out. He had some back tightness in his back or whatever. So I look, man. I'd take him out for the whole rest of the season, man. He can't. You gonna waste this guy? But look, I get it. You can't take him out. But everybody, look, man. If he's got a hanging nail, I'm taking him out, man. I'm not having him sit up here play with this sorry ass bunch of guys, and no. So, but any rate, he's gonna be in the home run derby. I think I don't want him in the home run derby. I just want him in the game, get in, get out, make an appearance, and be done with it. If you win, okay, great, he's hometown guy, but nah, man, just get in and get out. I don't want to get hurt, man. I just want to get in and get out, man.
Yeah.
I wish the best for him. If you wins, great, but just swinging, nah, bro. Go on, sit on down. Take a couple seats over there. Hang out with us or somebody over there on the side and dig out. For the All-Star
Mhm.
game. That's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
feel. Ho. That's just why I am.
No, I
But
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, man. But finally, man, the homecoming, uh, Falcons training camp is on July 24th. So got to be looking for some tickets for that. Hope
Yeah, yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's do
got
it.
got to look for some tickets for that, man, and so we can get that together, man, and get there and get the Falcons training camp. See what we can do. Maybe we can include the listeners, man, and include the Bread and Hope show some kind of form or fashion with that, man. So I don't know if we can make that happen, but we gonna try.
Yeah, well, yeah, no doubt, man. Let's yeah, let's see what we can, see what we can what we can do with that.
Yeah. I think it's worth a shot, man. Try to see what we can do. Going to get that together. So I'll be looking with that, being that I got time on my hands.
Oh, oh yeah, though you got time.
I got newfound time on my hands. I can see what I can do with trying to get
You-
tickets and seeing how
yeah,
we can get that going, man.
yeah, you got the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well, yeah, I think we up on it, man, on the
Yep, we
time.
up on it. Yep, we up on it, man. So look, we're gonna check Lou out this weekend. I'm back in the country. And so thanks for joining the Bread and Hope show. So until next time, speak on it.
Speak on it.